consequences of failure to observe WHS legislative requirements, policy, and procedures. And this will be illustrated using pins, letters, inspectors' notices, fines, prosecution, and other penalties. So there are a variety of consequences which may be used in scenarios where workers fail to comply with work health and safety legislative requirements. The consequences will range from low to severe based on specific incidents and how long an identified issue was left unaddressed. So we'll kind of do this in an order which increases in severity. So we'll start off with a PIN. Now, PIN is a provisional improvement notice and can be issued by a health and safety representative of a workplace if they believe a particular area of work is not meeting specified workplace and health and safety industry standards. The PCBU of the organization must then attend to the issue in order to get that PIN removed. Okay, and if they can't do that, then obviously we get more into deeper consequences. The next one we'll look at is a safe work letter. Okay, this is a letter from Safe Work New South Wales in our region, okay, which is sent to the PCBU of an organisation indicating that a particular area or practice within the site is not compliant with the existing health and safety legislation. Okay, so it's increasing because now we're actually involving Safe Work, who are external to the organisation, whereas the HSR is internal. Okay, so we're increasing in magnitude, and obviously it's a warning to fix things up. Okay. From here, we're most likely going to send an inspector out. So the third one would be an inspector notice who conduct safety audits of workplaces, and they're able to distribute a variety of notices in order to encourage PCBUs to address identified health and safety concerns within their respective workplaces. Now, there's a variety of notices they can give. Okay, they include an improvement notice, which details how to fix a specific issue, a prohibition notice, which means a specific equipment or area might be shut down because it's deemed too unsafe and they don't want anyone in that environment, and thus it must get attended to in order to allow workers back into those environments or use that equipment. Or finally, a non-disturbance notice, which is related to when an incident actually takes place. And the incident took place, so we have to close off the area in order to keep it safe from other people going in and potentially getting injured themselves, as well as to keep it clear so an investigation can take place and all the evidence is still there so they can see kind of what caused the incident. Next, now we start going a bit more into the penalty side of things. So firstly, we're talking about fines, okay? And this is obviously when people are charged monetary penalties, okay, issued from inspectors for different categories of health and safety offences. There are three categories. The first one, which is the highest, category 1, directly relates to negligence or recklessness, which could cause serious injury or death. Okay, and in that, there could be a very expensive fine, up to $3 million, okay, for a category 1 offense. Category 2 is just the PCBU has not complied with health and safety regulations or an act, and by doing so, they've put their workers' lives at risk. So nothing bad's actually happened, but people's lives were at risk, and thus they're copping a penalty for that. And then category 3 is when they haven't complied with laws, though technically no one's lives were at risk. Okay, so still going to get a financial penalty, maybe up to $50,000 for that not complying with the legislation and creating an element of danger. From here, and still in conjunction with the three categories of offences, we've also got prosecution. And in this case, the PCBU has done something really bad and they might have complied with something for a while, and as a result they'll have to serve time in prison. Okay, so maybe intentionally negligent, okay, to a specific behavior, to a specific issue, and it put people's lives at risk or may have really hurt someone fatally. Okay, and they'll have to serve time in prison. As said, responsibility will ultimately fall on the PCBU. Not always the PCBU too, because remember, everyone is responsible for workplace health and safety in a workplace, but really we're talking about intentional neglect or intentional reckless behavior that has had severe consequences. And then finally, we've got some other penalties too, which can include loss of job for people not complying with the rules within the workplace and creating a dangerous work environment. Public acknowledgements, where a PCBU might have to put together some sort of statement or campaign to acknowledge they did something wrong, and this could harm the actual reputation of the business. And then obviously the third one, rectify the issue, which has a financial cost behind it in that they've got to make adjustments to their workplace in order to make it compliant with workplace health and safety policy and procedures. So I hope this video has given you a nice understanding of these different consequences that can be used in as a result of not complying with workplace health and legislation, policy and procedures. And just as we see here on screen, increasing in severity, starting with that PIN, which is from the health and safety rep telling them to improve, then Safe Work get involved and issue their letter, An inspector comes out, does checks, gives notices, and then penalties start coming in, such as fines and prosecutions.